Your life can be an adventure, guys. You guys can have the most amazing, fun, adventurous, spontaneous life. And a lot of people today out there, they're stuck in this like mundane reality, this like just slog, this difficulty, this like fighting, like pushing the boulder uphill. Everything's such a struggle, everything's such a difficulty, and then you have someone like me that comes along and they're like, hey guys, just step outside of yourselves and become yourselves. It's like, it's kind of paradoxical in a way. Like, how do I step outside of my mind and myself that I've created, and then I step into the truer self? And so what you're going to find is that you become the in the moment intuitive, the spontaneity. And I'm talking about the true spontaneity, guys. I'm talking about like you're really fucking in it, and you're not encumbered by this mind all the time, and it's like coming in with all this nonsense all the time. It's distracting you basically from the reality of what you're in. It's always coming in. It's always like, yo, notice me. Come on, man. And then you diverting your attention to it constantly and like filtering yourself through that all the time. You're basically by default ignoring the reality that's around you, that's always fresh, that's always like, oh my God, amazing. Even in like the most relatively shitty experience that you're going through, it could be a little bit better. You could turn it into something kind of cool. And everything becomes more malleable. Everything becomes more just flowing. You can influence it. It's like we've bought into this idea that like this construct that exists out here, this physical, it's like we're largely just, oh no, it's out of control, it's happening to me all the time. No, you're participating in life, guys. And this in the moment intuitive that you become, you're already basically an in the moment intuitive. That's your truest nature. But you're encumbered by all this mental baggage, and you're carrying around suitcases of this shit, man. It's very heavy. And because you're so encumbered by stuff, you can't just like flow naturally into where the next moment is wanting to take you. Guys, when we watch movies, when we're like watching shows and movies like about these fantastical fantasy sci-fi adventures, historical adventures, Indiana Jones stuff, right? When we're looking at those movies and we're like participating in the adventure through the movie, we're projecting ourselves into that story, right? Your life can be that, guys. And it's important to notice it. It's important to realize this. Why? Because if you're not in that place, then it's very likely that you're in that other bad place, relatively, right? Like it's all relative. It's all comparing and contrasting what's better or worse. But like I say, where your soul wants to sing, where your soul wants to just reach the newest heights, it's in the spontaneity, guys. You're going to notice that if you've been living this like routine, constant, same, always like just you kind of know what to expect, and you start expecting more and more and more, and you start assuming more and more and more, and you start judging more and more and more about what this reality is going to be. You're so utterly filtered through that lens of your mind and like this negativity almost, that you're not stepping into like this amazingness. And that's why like these people that are coming in like me that are saying, hey guys, your life can be amazing, your life can be like the truly like blissful, utterly peaceful state, they sound insane and delusional to you because all you know is the suffering and the intensity of this fucking routine that you're stuck in. And I'm not saying do away entirely with routine and or with ritual or whatever, like the stuff that we like buy into, the normalization of life, right? I'm not saying do away entirely with it. What I'm saying is we are too far in that extreme. What you want to do, you want to be dipping your toes in both. And honestly, you want to be dipping your toes in the spontaneity more. Even if you have a thing that's scheduled on your planner, like that, like, oh, I got this appointment at 2. Well, I'm gonna live my like life up until 2 o'clock to the max. I'm gonna go out for a walk. I'm gonna go to the park. I'm gonna go walk my dogs. I'm gonna go talk to my friends. I'm gonna go maybe meet somebody new. And then that 2 o'clock appointment naturally flows into yourself. And then now you go to the 2 o'clock appointment, and now that's more liberating too. Now you're like, oh, like, let's see how this goes. You're not just like projecting all of this shit all the time into it. You're just like, oh, it's all a wonderful new experience that God is bringing to me at any given moment. Okay? But we're meant to search. We're meant to seek. We're meant to explore. We're meant to tap into that spontaneous self. And why I'm saying you're the in the moment intuitive, because it's your intuition that comes to the forefront, guys. You're not 90% through the mind and 10% intuitive. You're 90% intuitive and maybe 10% mind. Do you see how it's like a total flipping of your reality, basically? You're flipping your personal reality on its head, man. You're like, I am gonna fucking intuitive the shit out of this. I'm not gonna constantly label. I'm not gonna constantly judge. I'm not gonna buy into the external and internal lies that I'm constantly projecting. No, I'm done with all of that shit. And I'm fully stepping into this moment, however it takes shape. And God's gonna start putting you on these super cool, adventurous little things. You just spontaneously get a feeling. You're like, hey, I feel like going out today. And then you go to like this neighborhood in the city that you live in that you've never been to before. And you walk around and you notice stuff and you interact with people and you go to a park and you go to here and you pet the dog and you like, you know what I mean? Like all these cool little experiences are making up this present moment all the time. But before, you were too busy shut off and like shut down in your own mental prison of your own making that you're maybe even unawares of. Your own conditioned stuff. You're just like baggage all the time. It's very heavy, guys. Let go of the mental baggage and like step into yourself. It's very light. It's very free. Okay? And now the more and more you do this intuitive state of being, the more you're rooted in it, the more you realize, oh, this is how I'm naturally supposed to live my life. And then you start noticing everyone else that's trapped in their own prisons. And then they see you and they're like, how are you so happy? How are you so authentic? How do you so not care? You know, like, how have you let go? They don't understand it because they're still buying into that construct that they're blinded by. They can't see it. I'd have to sit that. It's like for you to understand the fundamentals of like what your mind is and like, you know, getting away from it. You'd have to watch like I don't know, 10 of my videos. Go watch the 2 videos I do on like the layers of your mind, and then the 2 videos on expectations, and then the waiting, and then your authenticity. I have all these different things. You watch 5 hours of it, and now it starts to like dawn on you. Oh man, maybe he's got a point. Maybe I'm not meant to filter my entire existence through this negative lens constantly. And then your attitude naturally shifts. And now you're like more in the disposition to want to explore, right? Because if you're depressed and you're sitting and feeling sorry for yourself and you're lonely and you're all like, oh, you know, woe is me in your room like I used to be. I'm very familiar with it, guys. I know it. I know that feeling. And when you're in that place, you're not in this like encouraging kind of like internal state. You're not like, oh, hey, let's go try this. No, you're like, I don't want to try nothing, man. Let me sleep all fucking day. And let me go doom scroll on, you know, and just like pass the time. And all you're doing is killing time. You're basically killing yourself. You're dead inside. And I'm saying, guys, go live your lives. Go live. Step outside into that scary, scary world, guys. Maybe you're even agoraphobic. You can't even step. I used to kind of be borderline agoraphobic. I'm like, I don't want to go outside, man. It's too scary. No, man. Embrace that little anxiety and fear. Embrace it. Be courageous, guys. That's what courage is, right? It's seeing that fear and still stepping into it because you don't know. The fear of the unknown, the fear of the potential negative outcome. And it might surprise you. This amazing experience might be just on the other side of that little resistance that you have. It might just be just on the other side, guys. All you gotta do is open the door and walk through into your life. Live. Life. Not dead. Not just like, life sucks. No, man. Life doesn't suck, man. That's just one way of looking at it. It can be any other thing. It can be okay. It can be amazing. It can be blissful. It can be just, you know, above average. It can be, there's the whole spectrum of potential outcomes, but you'll never experience or taste them if you're just stuck in the rut all the time of anxiety and depression and like, you know, oh no, what if this happens? What if that? Who gives a fuck what if, man? You can what if yourself to death. You know? Isn't that paralyzing? Don't you want to fucking go and experience? Like, guys, I guarantee you, if there's at least one point in your life where you maybe even look back on it nostalgically, and you're like, man, that night was amazing, and everything just flowed perfectly, and I kind of let go, and I just experienced this amazing night on the town, or I went on this vacation, guys, you can have that all the time, even in your most basic mundane life. That's where it's at. You don't have to go on like, road trips like I did and like all, you don't have to, but maybe that road trip that you do go on gets you to let go of some of this stuff. You redeem yourself, you tap into yourself again, and you're like, oh man, look at this person that I forgot existed. This whole other layer of myself that exists that I've been covering up. It's like you're digging, you know how you dig the grave? And then you put all the dirt to the side. And now what you've done on yourself is you've taken all this dirt and you're just covering yourself. You're filling your own grave. You're dead. You're a zombie to life. And the truest awakening, the truest power exists in this moment, in the most detached, spontaneous, fully merged with the moment, man. You're like, yes, bring it on, God. Yes, let's go. Let's fucking go. Like, yes, man. Jim Carrey, like, yes to life. There's no more like resistance. You're not like, No, I don't even let that shit come in anymore, man. And if it does, I recognize it very quickly and I'm like, get the fuck away from me. I don't like you. Because I know where that goes. I don't want to be in that place anymore. I'm done with it. And then you yourself become this like uplifting, charismatic, magnetic force. And you're just like this beacon and everyone's looking at you and they're like, how the fuck are you always so happy? How the fuck are you, are you delusional? Are you insane? Look at the world. Look at what's going on in the world. Look at what's going on here and there. Look at what's going on in your story, right? Like, Darius, how are you so happy when you're homeless and poor and like you have nothing? How is that possible? I mean, because we're out here deriving our sense of like selves and like happiness from things. And that you've given your power away to that. No, reclaim your power and go be spontaneous and intuitive. Stop labeling everything through your mind. And that's why I'm telling you guys, you got to do the meditation, you got to do the prayer, got to do the contemplation and the internal stillness. You got to do that. Why? Because you got to detach your mind. You got to detach yourself from your mind. It's like, those leeches. You're the leech and you've sucked onto your mind and you're just always sucking for blood, more, sucking, more. How much are you going to suck the blood out of something with your mind? You're basically sucking the life out of yourself through your mind all the time. It's like a parasite. It's a parasitic fucking, I don't know, embodiment or parasitic like example or, whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. It's a parasitic relationship. You have that with your mind and you don't realize it. Let go of it. And now, because you're so still, because you're noticing everything perfectly, because you're so in tune with yourself and everything around you, the signs are that much more noticeable. And now the signs become apparent all the time in this moment. And you're flowing through it. And now you've fully stepped into the spontaneous, intuitive, in the moment perfection of life. And even if there is something on the horizon that you have to deal with, it comes in naturally into the flow of your life, guys. It's there. Just placed nicely on your path, just gently. You just step into it. It isn't like this resistant thing that you're just like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. You're just like, whatever, man. Peel the fucking Band-Aid off, guys. Just like rip it off and do it. And the explorative, adventurous, spontaneous, fully blissed out moment is your entire life unfolding before you. And you're like, how was I so blind and lost? And you see very clearly, you're like, oh my God, this is how we're meant to live. This is how we're meant. Like when Jesus and the disciples are talking about the good news, they're like, yeah, guys, you got to go spread the good news. The good news is like you start living now. And it isn't like the good news is like, hey guys, you're here and you're like amazing and like you can create whatever reality you want for yourself and it's collectively. You can create this paradise. And even if you like everyone else doesn't buy in, you have your own little slice of paradise wherever you go and it's fine. And you very clearly recognize the negativity. You see it. It's just obvious. But why? Because it's in direct contradiction to like your own internal state of being all the time. You're like, that doesn't vibe. I don't want to go that way. Whatever. You just see. I mean, it's hard to describe it in words, man, other than you just see. You just hear. You can listen. You listen to the heartbeat of life. You are the stethoscope that's got it's like it's applied to the body, and you hear the beat, the rhythm of life, and you naturally flow into it. And you heal yourself through it, man. You become the doctor of your own life. You heal through it, man. Your body starts to like, oh, this feels pleasant. I'm not encumbered by stress. I'm not encumbered by fear. Guys, when you're in the fearful, stressful state, like it literally destroys the internal parts of your body. It destroys you from within. When you're at peace, your life just flows. There isn't this like restriction on yourself, man. Your heart's not beating 1,000 times a minute and like you're just like constantly on the go, fight or flight. No, man. You step into ease. And then if you need to access fight or flight to get out of something, you can. But you recognize it for what it is. It doesn't take you over and dominate you. And now you're running for your life. Oh my God, I'm going to die. You're not in that place. You're just like, oh, I got to run. Okay, then you run from this like whatever impending disaster might be. And you're present through all of it. And it's almost like, oh, look at this cool thing happening in my reality. You're like, Darius, what's cool? Like bombs are coming in and shit's blowing up and this is cool. It's like, it's just another aspect of reality. You see it for what it is. And yeah, you don't want to have to be around the bombs exploding, but if you are there, you just like surrender to it and flow with it instead of trying to resist and fight it all the time. And your bombs are going off in your life, guys, all the time. How you label stuff, the negative things that you're constantly seeing and projecting, those are like fucking mini explosions all the time, mini nukes. Like, oh my God, this, oh my God, my car broke down. I don't have money. Mini fuck, just boom, life's over. I can't get to work. Like, and it's just this problem, it's just this thing. Oh my God, it dominates you and you're worried and worried and worried. Yeah, it's natural to be a little anxious and be a little worried about it, but don't let it take you over. Because you still need to tap into like your true self that's going to work through the problem, through the situation. And stuff isn't problematic so much anymore. It's just like a situation to be dealt with and you quickly move through it. And that's applies to every aspect of your lives. It's like, oh, look, I'm fully spontaneous and God brought in this like minor difficulty. Oh, okay, cool. I'll handle it. And your mind is ready to pop up and like it like naturally brings up the most perfect, correct way to like handle it fluidly in the moment. It isn't like you're psychoanalyzing the fuck out of it and you're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and you're like in this mental prison about how you may or may not deal with it. Your intuition just makes it known to you and you're like, oh, this is how I do it in the moment, immediately. It's dealt with, it's done, and I can move on to the next moment of my life where the most amazing thing lies. Oh, Darius, you make it sound all so simple and so easy. You make it sound like it's just so, and guys, it is. In the beginning, it's hard to get to this place. There's a resistance, there's an inertia. You got to get the ball rolling, man. You got to like it's like the snowball. You got to start rolling it, and then it starts gaining momentum, starts growing and building, and it starts going down faster and faster and faster. And now before you know it, you're poof into yourself. And then now that self recognizes much easier how to handle all of this life stuff. You're like, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with that? Every answer to all of your problematic questions lies in finding yourself. Because once you find yourself, then your own intuition knows how to handle whatever stuff comes up perfectly. So it's like, I can't possibly know all the different thousands and millions of questions and examples you may have about what's difficult or what's this or what's that. Your own intuition is going to answer that question for you. My intuition doesn't need to. So the answer is always find your spontaneous, intuitive self. And then from there, you're naturally guided by the force of God itself in you. And it's magical and perfect always. And you're not fighting and resisting life itself. Oh, it sounds so simple. Well, it kind of is. It kind of is. And we've made it complicated, guys. We've made this whole fucking existence so complicated and difficult, and we never needed to. But because we're born into it, and because everyone's passing around this conditioning, and because our parents don't know how to raise us properly, and it's like they're just doing the best they can, right? But imagine if everyone was awake. Imagine if everyone was enlightened, basically. And they're raising children. Don't you think the kids have a higher probability of being enlightened themselves? They're gonna, from a young age, recognize their own fucking conditioning? You can teach them very easy. They're malleable when they're young, guys. So they don't, and you're not constantly forcing your own personal negativity onto them, so they're not internalizing your negativity as a parent to them. And they don't personally think that they're the fuck-ups, and then they're not having the trauma, and then they're not carrying around that trauma that stunts them their whole lives. It becomes a way more peaceful existence for the entire planet, because people are awake. And you're not trying to like get revenge for all this stuff that was done to you in the past, and everyone's just constantly going back and forth, back and forth. I have to have my revenge. Let it go, bro. It happened. No, but like, what's everyone gonna say about me if I let them walk all over me? It's like, who gives a fuck, bro? Turn the other cheek, man. Who cares? You step into your shit. You step into your life, and you stop giving a fuck about what everybody else thinks and wants and needs from you and stuff. And you're just like, hey, does this work? Okay, cool, I'll do it. And it doesn't work? I don't really feel like doing it, so I won't. Yeah, it's so liberating. It's so, like guys, like I love watching those movies like Indiana Jones and like all these adventurous fucking amazing movies. I love those movies, man. I love it. Forrest Gump and like, you know, the Curious Case of Benjamin Button, you know, and like these snapshots into like having this like amazing expeditious life, you know. It's like we just naturally are so drawn to it because it makes us just like, oh, how awesome would that be? How fun would that be? Don't you want that for yourselves? Don't you want that in your life? Well, you can have it. But like then now I say go do the meditation and the prayer and the internal stillness, and you're like, no, I can't do that. But I'm like, guys, that's the key to unlocking this perfect state of being that you have. And you're like, no, I'd rather just stay in this like hellhole that I've created for myself. I don't want to have to do the work. Like Byron Katie says, doing the work. That's all it is. That's all it is, man. You're working on yourself, you're healing yourself. That's why they call it shadow work, right? It's like, come on, man. It's very like to the point and direct. Like there's some effort involved. Like I say, until there's no longer needed the effort so much. Doesn't mean that like I don't have to try. I do have to try occasionally, guys. I do have to put effort in life, right? Simply doing stuff is effort, right? It's work. You know, you get up, you walk. That's work. That's effort. Okay? But it's not like what you're doing is you're like doubling down on your work when you also have this mind that's coming in and like adding layers of heaviness to the work that you're doing. It's like, I'm going to walk in the forest. And if I'm just myself, it's like a peaceful, blissful little walk. But if my mind's hounding me all the time while I'm out here, then isn't it going to double down the work? It's like not only am I physically exerting myself, I'm also mentally exerting myself the whole time. And I'm diverting my energy. And I've like split myself literally down the middle in two. I'm giving myself to the mind, and I'm giving myself to this physical exertion. Now, if you recapture your mind, then the physical exertion doesn't become that difficult because now you're whole. Now you're just like, oh, I'm just walking, and you're noticing how you're walking, and you're noticing the energy in you, and you're noticing the energies around you, and you're just flowing, and you're in balance with all of it. And it's perfection. So guys, adopt that spontaneous, adventurous modality. Seek it. Try it. Like this weekend, if you don't have plans, go say, I'm going to block out 8 hours of my day, and I'm just going to go walk around wherever I live and just like see where life takes me. And just be present as possible and just notice wherever life wants to take you. Just do it. There's nothing, you're not going to die. There's no harm in it, guys. It's going to be amazing probably. And then you're going to come back and you're going to leave a comment on my video and be like, Darius, you were right, man. Like how awesome was my day because I temporarily let go. Well, you can have that all the time if you choose it, guys. And I'm not saying literally all the time. Like I said, you go from 10% and 90%, right? Like routine and like, you know, stillness and spontaneity. You flip it and now it becomes 90% spontaneity and 10% routine.